What's up everyone, John Ranger from Techno Buffalo here with the best phone you might have never heard of. This is the Axon by ZTE. ZTE is now trying to sell phones directly to consumers in the US. They've been selling all over the world for quite a while. And this is the latest to come from them. This thing is an absolute beast at what would essentially be a bargain price of just $450. They're positioning this really similar to the OnePlus 2 as that flagship killer for a non-premium price. Let's go ahead and open this top up. I like the little portal to see the dual cameras there. Available in 3 colors, either blue, gold, or silver. Let me take a guess as to what color we've got here. Go ahead and pull this out. First thing you'll know when you pick up the phone, cold metal. Feels really nice. The phone feels very premium. I will reluctantly push it off to the side for a real quick second. See what else you're going to have in the box when you pick up your Axon. We're going to have booklets. Yay! Which I'm not going to read, you're not going to read. Nobody's going to read. They're not messing around with the headphones here. JBL headphones with inline mic and full control. Really nice headphones, probably one of the nicest ones I've seen packed inside of a device. We've got a not exciting micro USB cable, and then we've got just a single USB port wall wart. And that's it, but that is not the reason anybody's here. Here is why we're all gathered here today. This is the Axon. Go ahead and pull this off. That was a moderately satisfying whooshing noise. Keeping this guy humming is a Snapdragon 810, so octa-core there. 3,000 mAh battery is going to hopefully ensure it's not going to run out of juice. It does have quick charge 2.0, and ZTE says you'll be able to get 12 hours of talk time or 240 hours of standby time. So you can just chat up all your friends and tell them that your eyebrows are on fleek or other things that might be on top of a fleek. It also is going to have hi-fi audio chipset, so supposedly you'll get really high quality audio, which you could wager from those giant speaker grills on the front of the phone. 4 gigs of RAM here. The second time I've said that in the span of the week, the first one being with the OnePlus 2. Just, I don't know what you do with 4 gigs of RAM. That seems like 2 gigs too many, but it's here and there's just a lot of gigs. The screen is 5.5 inches and it's a resolution of 2560 by 1440, so it has 2Ks. It's obviously running a customized version of Android, but it is based on 5.1.1. It doesn't look to be a very heavy skin, but certainly it is its own skin version. Camera situation is a bit unique. You can tell by looking at it. You've got 2 lenses here. The main one is a 13 megapixel sensor, and the second one is a 2 megapixel sensor. The main one has a 6-element lens that can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second or 720p at 120 frames per second. You can do some cool stuff with the cameras, which I'll talk about in the review, and I'll show you quickly when I go over the software. Not the only camera here. We've got a front-facing camera that is 8 megapixel. If you're wondering to yourself, you're saying, "Self, this phone looks nice, a good bargain. Can I use it on my carrier?" Well, to you, friend, I say if you're in North America and you're on AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro PCS, Cricket, Rogers, Bell, TELUS for our Canadian friends, then yes, this will work with you. And for you, no problem at all. So I initially took the device out of the box. I thought it was going to have sort of the Android buttons were going to light up there. But you've got that one home button, and flanking it to the left or the right are 2 just little dots to let you know where your back button is and where your multitasking button is going to live. Swipe all that stuff off. And you can see some of the things that they've done here. Clear all and task management. That circle is just your capacitive home button. We don't have any sort of fingerprint sensor on here at all, but it does have NFC, which is something that I guess has been lacking in some of its competition. Let's take a quick look at the software. I'll do a little pull down here. Swipe that down. You can see where some of the tweaking is. You can see you've got many more options here for your shortcuts. Let's go ahead and see the software version, which I believe should be 5.1.1. Jump into settings, scroll down to the bottom, about phone, and it is based on 5.1.1. On the right hand side of the phone, you've got your power button, and I love having this. You've got an actual camera button, which makes taking photos much easier. On the right hand side, you've got your volume up and down, and that is where your SIM tray is going to live. You're not going to have any expandable storage on here, unfortunately. On the bottom, you're going to have your micro USB port, 3.5mm headset jack lives on top, as well as being flanked by 2 noise canceling microphones. Let me show you something cool on the camera. Let's go ahead and jump right in, turn it to the side. If you go ahead and click on modes, you can see some different things here. One of the ones that I haven't really seen in many other phones, but it's all software based, but still kind of cool, is multi-exposure. Let's go ahead and take a picture here. So let's say I want to take a picture of glowing blue cube. I'll go ahead and snap a picture. Probably won't be blue by the time I snap it. and I move around, I can see there's still sort of a haze of that first picture. I can adjust how bright or not bright that's going to show up to get my second exposure. I'd say the next one I want to take a picture of that little Rubik's Cube thing. Go ahead and take that. It'll stitch the two together. I can adjust the ratio on if I like it. Go ahead and hit select. And now I've got a picture that has multiple exposures, which is kind of cool. You can play around with it and do some neat things there. I don't know if that necessarily needs two lenses, but it's got it here. No like 3D stuff, which usually you see with a dual lens setup. But obviously you can adjust focus in the back if you want to as well. And I'm really looking forward to checking this phone out. It's a flagship phone. It's got flagship specs. It feels premium. It looks nice. If I told you this phone is built by HTC, by looking at it, you'd say, yeah, of course it is, but not. It's ZTE, but it has that HTC type build quality. And it was designed in the US, so it's got that going for it as well. Anything you guys want to see in particular, be sure to let me know. Until next time, John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.